What's up guys, Ivan here, and today I want to share with you my thoughts on the Tech 21 bass fly rig. In case you haven't watched the video yet, I would highly encourage you to check that out first so that you can get a bit more context on how the pedal works. But let me start saying that I've been using the pedal quite extensively for the last 2.5-3 weeks. I've taken it to rehearsals, I've used it at a show going direct just with this, and I've done a lot of testing here at home. And due to its small footprint and lightweight, I did feel like I wanted to carry it around with me because I could just throw it on my gig bag and that's it. I don't have to carry a second piece of luggage like my pedal board. It's not heavy. I don't need extra cables, extra power supplies. It's just the power supply for this, 2 cables, done. That's definitely really cool. However, there are a couple of things that I kind of hoped worked a bit better, or I was kind of hoping that they would work differently. For example, the compressor, it is usable, definitely, but it's rather aggressive. Even when settings or the compression set like at 9 o'clock or lower than that, so even barely active, it clamps down your signal pretty heavily. So you can compensate that with your level, but still you do feel like sometimes it's like restricting you a bit too much, at least for my taste. You do get a bit like a wider response out of the compression knob if you pad the signal first, but then you have to compensate by boosting the level again afterwards a lot more. So I kind of hoped that it would work a bit more transparently, so to speak, or at least that they put a knob for the ratios so that it doesn't clamp down so hard, because I don't know what kind of ratio the compressor is. I'm assuming it's either 4:1 or more, maybe like 8 or 6:1, I'm not sure, but it's rather aggressive, like I said. The boost pedal, that's great. I don't have anything negative to say about that. You do get a wide frequency, or like a wide spectrum of boost that you can toggle with the foot switch, and it's not like you press it and it's like a massive spike, so it is a pretty usable range. And having the option to set it post and pre is really good. So if, for example, if you're at the last chorus of a song and you want to have a bit more push, you can press that, or if you're going into the chorus of a song, you can press that as well, and it's going to give you a little lift up. Or if you want, for a certain section, if you set it to to pre, you can crank the drive of the Sansamp section, getting you a grittier tone. So the boost is definitely, I don't have anything negative to say about that. It's really well done. Now the Sansamp, it is, if I'm not mistaken, either like 1-to-1 the VT bass simulation, or it's really, really close to it. And with that, I've played a show with in-ear monitors, and it sounded great. The amp response, it's like like a mic'd up cabinet. I also looked at different frequency response curves. I'm gonna put probably a picture somewhere here, and it does sound really good. It is really intuitive. It is not hard to dial in. However, I'm not sure if it's my basses or what, but the character knob, when used like below 11 o'clock, gets really dark. And I took also a look at the frequency responses, and like everything like below sometimes 200 hertz or like 300 was completely erased. So it gives you like that kind of sound. And I'm sure that there are some situations where that can be used or can be useful, but it is a rather drastic change of sound, so I think the closest to flat that you can get is when the character knob is pointing like at 1 p.m. maybe, like that, and the drive is also like at 12 or 1. That was what I found to be most transparent. Of course, you want to have some character of the amp going on, but what I thought, for example, during the show that I played, sounded like clear and with enough mids and treble, here at home, I went to the gig and the guy was the front of house guy was like, "Hey, dude, you gotta give me more treble, more mid-range, because you just have like sub frequencies going on." So there's that. But overall, I like the amp simulation here. It's definitely good. It's a lot of fun. You do have a lot of possibilities to set up your sound with it, and it just feels when you're playing with it like headphones or in monitors, like you're playing with an amp. So that's definitely cool. Then my biggest disappointment, so to speak, was the Octave Filter section, because if you just use the filter, it's okay. That's all right. You know, it sounds like a envelope filter. You know, that funky wop 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 kind of sound. That's cool. However, the octave, it's on its own. It's like a rather dirty octave. It sounds like as if it was distorting already a bit. And the main problem that I've encountered was that it kind of has a bit of delay, like not like the effect delay, but like latency. You know, you play and it sounds as if I was playing a note and the octave came like a 16th note later, like kitan, kitan all the time. And you can hear it on the video as well. When I just solo all the octave, it sounds kind of weird, not in time with the actual playing. That can be compensated by using the mix knob. So if you blend in a bit more of your dry signal, you get that octave happening, and you don't really notice that. But if you want to have more of the octave, you're gonna feel that when playing. So I kind of wish that would track a bit better. Then you got the fuzz, which in my opinion sounds pretty cool. It sounds like a really dirty synth. But you do lose a bunch of low end. So in order for that to be useful, you have to activate the octave as well, which, like I said before, doesn't track so quickly. So you might find like some combinations are not ideal. Then there's a chorus, which in my opinion works perfectly. You know, it's like a chorus. You know, it's like pretty useful. The knob gives you a wide range of amount of chorus that you can have in your signal. However, I don't know, like for most playing situations, I don't think one would need a chorus. As a bass player, most of the time you need, you know, your clean signal, some overdrive, maybe the octave, and some synth sounds. So I mean, if they were to do a version 2 of this, I would hope that they would, for example, put an octave, just a completely clean octave here, and swap the chorus for something called maybe like a synth that gives you different toggle switches or different possibilities to be able to play like synth bass lines, you know. But don't cram everything on the octave section, because like I said, sometimes it's just not working properly. It doesn't track that well. Now, with that being said, you know, I mentioned at the beginning, I've been taking it with me, so I feel more compelled to take this and put it in my gig bag than to carry around my whole pedal, which is a bit heavier than this. But I only actually need the preamp on this and the tuner. So the Sansamp and the tuner, if it was me, I would probably end up just getting a VT bass, for example, and a clip tuner, and I would be happy, you know, because that's all I actually use. The compressor I've also used, but like I said, it's not like really my thing. So if it was up to me, I would just get a VT bass, which is also like a small pedal, and a clip tuner, and I would be good to go. That would be the same scenario for me. I would still get all the amp simulation that's here, and I will be also able to tune. But if you do need like the chorus, the octave, the fuzz, the Sansamp, the boost, and the compressor, if you use that on a regular basis, this is hard to beat, because, you know, the small format, the small package, it's like really easy to carry around. And if you were to get all the effects separately, you would end up needing patch cables, a power supply, a pedal board, or something to carry all the pedals if you don't want to put them on a pedal board. So that is, to me, the biggest selling point of this. It's like easy to carry around. You just throw in your gig bag and you're done. That's great. Like I said before, if you only need a preamp, like the speaker emulation, the tube amp emulation, you're better off getting either a Blazin Vibez or a Sansamp bass driver DI, and you would end up having pretty much the same effect. But like I said, I've been using it, I've been carrying it around because it's so small. I do want to put it on my gig bag. That is my opinion. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching, and take care.